Hey there, puppers. Lynn here, just for the health of it. And whew, it's been a crazy day. I signed the closing documents on the triplex. I actually turned in my work laptop. I have decided, well, yeah, it's a situation. Anyways, tomorrow is technically my last day of work. So that's exciting, sliding into retirement a little bit faster than I thought I was. And the antique auctioneers have been here. So the house is crazy. We've got piles and things labeled and stuff moving, and they're photographing, and they're gonna do a huge online auction for all of my antiques and things that I'm not taking with me. So, but in the midst of all this craziness, got a little package, and this is some seeds that I wanted to put an order in real early. We don't know, of course, what COVID is doing, and we don't know what politics are doing, and so, you know, supply chain and things getting to shelves timely. So I went ahead and placed an order early. And that's one thing that people maybe don't realize is your seeds, even though there may be a date of 2021 on them, that does not mean that your seeds are expired. Your seeds will still germinate and you can still grow them. Many of them up to 10 years old. You'll probably lose a little bit of your germination percent. So maybe instead of 95% germinating, you're down to 75%. But it's definitely not a reason to throw out your seeds. So always keep your seeds and keep planting them. So I received one of my orders. Now I already have a bunch of seeds and a great seed collection going, but I wanted to try some new things and get some more things that I know I really like. So I am going to go through this with you guys right now. Kind of like early Christmas. All right, so let's just do this one at a time and just have it crazy excitement. Okay, so this is Mizuna. It's kind of like a spicy Asian green. You would use it in salads, or you can stir fry with it. I haven't tried that yet, but always looking for new things. Ooh, we have a pear tomato. So this is a large beefsteak type. I'm so excited to try some new tomatoes. And we have a Livingston daisy. So even though I focus on food and food prep and food preservation and having control of how my vegetables are grown, I like to make sure that the garden is very beautiful, and you also want to plant stuff that brings in pollinators. Most of your fruit or produce will not self-pollinate. Tomatoes do, maybe a couple other things, but you always want to make sure that you have good pollinators coming into your garden. Okay, this is a Korean long tomato. I just thought that that looked fun, and some of these are brand new seeds being made available. So these are actually packaged for 2022 also, and I just kind of was really looking at some of the brand new seeds that are coming out on the market. Even though a lot of these are heirloom, they haven't been commercially or available readily to the public. Honey nut squash. Thought that was fun and exciting. Christmas. Oh, we have another Mizuna. I'm not sure if I made a mistake and hit that twice. If they made a mistake, or oftentimes Baker Creek, when you order so many seeds, they do give you a free seed packet. Nasturtium, a garden staple. These flowers and leaves and seeds are all edible and they're beautiful. Black strawberry tomato. And that's part of why I like starting things from seed, is I'm gonna get varieties that I'm not gonna be able to get at the big box store. And oftentimes a lot of these I won't even be able to get at like a little small local garden center. So I'm gonna be able to have varieties and types of food that are not otherwise available besides through seed. Coreopsis. Just some beautiful flowers. Let's see. Oh, and so most people know that my heritage is very Norwegian, Viking, but I am also 25% Polish. So there were a couple seed varieties, very heirloom old seeds that were from Poland. And so I really just wanted to try those. So here's a nice squash. And there were a couple squash type soup recipes that sounded really good that I want to try. Another large tomato. I went a little crazy, yes. Okay, oh, chamomile. I like drying those for tea. Lots of sunflowers. Now many of these more decorative type sunflowers, the seeds, technically you can still eat the seeds and you can actually eat the entire flower head. But a lot of those are really just for pollinators and to make my garden beautiful. Thyme, an orange thyme. I think sometimes having different herbs make your cooking more interesting. Tomatillo. We're gonna do some more different types of salsa. Chocolate cherry sunflower. Oh my goodness, that is just beautiful. And like this year, I left the dried sunflower heads on their stalks, and especially the blue jays, but lots of birds would come in and eat them. So you're giving foraging to a lot of the wildlife too. Here's a butter bush squash. And I really like roasted vegetables, so I'm hoping that some of these squash will roast really nice, like do, you know, beets and onions and carrots and squash, and just roast those in the oven. Oh, here's my free seed. That's an interesting carrot. Uzbek Golden. We'll give it a try. Freya loves carrots. And I roasted some dinner yesterday, and I had way more carrots, and I didn't want to just leave them in the fridge. And so I roasted them plain with no oil, no salt, no pepper, and just kind of did a roast so that they were nice and soft. And the puppies loved those carrots as treats. Here is a Thai sweet basil. Reach into the grab bag. Oh, this was one of their new seeds for this year. A China jade radish. I've been pickling radish, and I wanted to try a couple other varieties, and I thought something like these really big long ones would give me like lots of material to work with. And refrigerator pickled radishes are super easy. It's like 3 ingredients: vinegar, water, sugar, sliced radishes. You throw that all together and let them soak overnight. And oh my goodness, pickled radishes on any type of tacos, very good. True black brandywine tomato. Some of these are just beautiful. I can't even wait to just see them growing. Rutgers tomato. And I have notes on these. I didn't pull my, well, I think my notes are all packed up. Some of these I bought specifically because the reviews were that they were like a very prolific, they were very easy, they were early fruiting. So up here in Western Washington, I mean, we have a pretty decent growing season, but it's definitely May 15th is probably our last frost, and probably mid-November is our first frost. So that's a pretty good, decent growing season. But I also wanted to get some of these that were earlier producers. So as I'm getting into my food preservation, I'm not inundated with 500 pounds of tomatoes in 1 week. You know, a lot of these will produce early and I can get them, and some of them are even indeterminate, so they'll actually grow, you know, until frost takes them, or disease. But I just wanted to kind of have fruits that were growing to fullness, whatever that, at different times, because I just, like I said, I didn't want to get too overwhelmed. This pepper, I think, was one of those that just had really great reviews for, and that's a sweet pepper, growing lots of large, easy fruit. Broccoli RABE. So I have never had this. I love broccoli. And again, in the spring here in Western Washington, oh my gosh, those little white butterflies and their crazy worms, babies, man, they just eat brassicas like crazy here. And so the spring is a really difficult time for us to not be battling those. The fall is much better. I did get some broccoli in the fall, but this is something that I thought would actually be easier. Instead of having an entire plant and waiting for one broccoli head, this will be a lot of little ones, and we'll be able to harvest more frequently. And so I'm hoping I'm sharing less with the bugs. Now I love basil. Basil, I say basil. And I want to preserve a whole bunch of that, especially in a good pesto sauce. And this one, for anyone who knows me, knows I love my nieces and nephews. And this one's called Emily. I'll have to grow a plant just for her. She just recently bought some property and is going to be building a home. So I'm excited to maybe share some of my gardening passion with her. She'll have over 4 acres. And this is a Thai frog eggplant. Now I'm not sure if the season here is going to be long enough. I'll start these seeds really, really early, like January, February, and baby them along under my grow lights, in the hopes that I can get those to fruit. And I've never grown eggplant, so that'll be interesting. I think this one, if I remember, is like a shorter time to fruit, and they're a little bit smaller, so I thought, I'm hoping I'll be able to get a good harvest out of those. Look at this radish. Malaga? No, I'm not sure, but it's a beauty. And I believe this one is that deep red inside also. And it is a monster radish. Oh, watermelon beefsteak. Sometimes you just gotta go for size. I'm excited for that one. And last but not least, For those who are seed starters and Baker Creek fans and other heirloom type tomato seed fans, this one has been one that I have seen a lot of talk about. I've seen a lot of people successful with it, and I'm super, super excited. It'll be my first year Cherokee purple tomato. All right, so I'll get these set aside and get them all organized with my other seeds. When I get ready for seed starting, I'll bring you guys along and show you kind of how I organize and store my seeds to try to get the most life out of them. And we'll go through all of that, and then I'll get some seed starting. I'll probably actually, hopefully have time and have my whole setup mid-January. So like I said, some of the eggplant and even the peppers. I do have like a lot of banana peppers, jalapenos, and maybe one other spicy one. But they're okay to start like 8 weeks before you're ready to plant them. So, and I'll have space and ability and time to kind of, you know, baby them along and really just take care of them indoors and get them as large and healthy as possible before I get them out mid-May-ish. Probably closer to the end of May is safest. But yeah, so I'm super excited. Thanks for coming along with me, and I hope you get inspired to do something healthy just for you. Bye.